Hello dear friends, this is Luke, and welcome back to your favorite series on this channel, Crypto Sunday. We worked hard all week to bring you the latest update. Our apologies as we had to finalize everything a few hours later than normal. We are now at episode number 30. That means you're here with me and listening to this 30-week series, and I can only rejoice when I see that from one week to the next, we have more and more followers. We are a whole team behind these videos, and we thank each and every one of you for following us and resonating with the information we deliver here. Even if the market is full bear, and most people ran away from crypto during this period, scared of the news and the losses they suffered, you stayed here with us, and surely in the next cycle, you will be among those who make good money. In crypto, you can't make money if you don't participate in a complete market cycle. Real money is made by buying in the bear market and selling in the bull run. Most of you have entered this market in 2021, that is, on a market growth close to the maximum. Most of you probably have minus portfolios now, but that's okay. There's no cause for concern. Think about the huge opportunities you have now. Every person has to start investing at some point, and there are very few who are lucky enough to make their first investment at the end of a bear market. Remember that the role of a bull run is to bring adoption to the crypto market. How does this happen? Very simple. Those who start in the bear market start to make a huge profit, to buy their Lamborghinis and to start displaying their wealth. The entire press is starting to take these stories and spread them all over the world. So many new people are learning about this market and starting to invest in hopes of overnight profits. This large mass of new people, uneducated in this field, when they come and invest in crypto, only raise prices to new heights. By investing in an upward trend, they will begin to believe themselves to be experts and to be convinced that this is the only way the market works and that they can buy as much today and sell more expensive tomorrow. And when the market reaches a saturation and those who own large amounts of cryptocurrencies consider that they have made enough profit, they start selling, and thus the market begins to deflate slowly. Those who are new to the market start to find out about DCA, dollar cost average, and start buying on the decline, being convinced that soon the market will recover and they will make a lot of money. But the market will shrink even more and more and more. And when these newcomers realize that they will probably have to wait a few years to recover their investment, they sell everything for nothing and leave this market losing money. The press begins to take over their stories, make them popular, and put fear in the market, making others sell, thus lowering prices even more. Then comes the bad news about crypto. We are told again that they will be banned, that they have no value, that they will go to zero, and that it's good if you still have some crypto to sell it now if you don't want to lose everything. Why is this happening? It is the last attempt of the huge investors to lower the prices in order to accumulate crypto massively. They are the same ones that will sell massively in a bull run and will trigger the beginning of a price decrease. Those who have hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin in their wallets are the same ones who own television, newspapers, and magazines. Or even if they don't personally own them, they belong to their friends with whom they sit at the table at the end of the day. The market has been and will be massively manipulated, and the only way they can make hundreds of millions of dollars is to trick small investors. How will they fool them? Well, in the news, in the bull market, it determines when to buy, thus ensuring their profit. And then also in the news, it scares them and determines them to sell them at a low price so that they can buy back what they sold expensive. Once you start understanding these things, you will start making real money. The market is created against mine and yours. They are trying to steal our money. Nothing is accidental, and everything is cyclical. Bitcoin will never go to zero. In fact, you have to stop listening to them and start seeing what they do. When all of television announces that Bitcoin is going to zero, the big whales are accumulating hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. The states are doing the same thing. The investment companies are doing the same thing. Elon Musk is doing the same thing, and the big companies that keep some of their money in Bitcoin are doing the same thing. So let's go back to where we left off. Even if you are one of the ones who entered the market in 2021 and now you have a big loss, try to detach yourself emotionally from this and look rationally. You had to start somewhere, and your initial moment was when you first invested. If you can stay rational and understand what I'm explaining here, you can make a lot of money. The problem is that 80% of the world's population cannot perceive a time horizon beyond 1 year. But I am convinced that you are one of the 20% who are able to do that. If you started investing only last year, most likely you still don't have a very good investment plan, and I recommend you create it now to have maximum results. First of all, you may have heard of a certain currency from your friends and invested heavily in it, completely ignoring the rest of the market, or even 2 or 3 coins. In order to ensure an important gain in the next bull market, you must be sure that you are investing in at least 10 currencies, of which the first 3 should be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB, exactly in this share for your portfolio. These are huge ecosystems that are almost impossible to defeat, and if you choose the wrong currencies in your portfolio, these 3 can still cover the losses created by the others. Regarding the other currencies in which you have to invest, these must be projects that have useful ecosystems behind them. Exchanges, good blockchains, large communities, seniority, and bring real benefits to their users. You know that this channel is Elrond, and most of our team members have a large share of the portfolio in eGold and MEX. It is your duty to create your list of projects you believe in and the share you want to own. But think of it this way. If when eGold traded for $500 a piece, you believed in this project and you invested $1,000, now you have 2 eGold in your wallet. The project has not suffered any problems since then. As a result, many new things have appeared in the ecosystem since then, and others will appear because it is being built massively, which is the logical reason why you wouldn't buy 2 eGolds for $100 now to double your portfolio. You originally bought 2 eGold for $1,000 in the hope that it will grow. If you still believe in it, and you know that it will be up to that value again, why not double your portfolio now with only 10% of the initial investment? Well, there is no logical reason but emotion and fear. If you can detach yourself from this and manage to set a target in the number of coins you want to own, a price drop like this should only make you happy. That is true for any currency you bought or want to buy. If you want to know exactly where the bottom of this bear market will be, we will discuss this shortly. But until then, please discuss in the comments where you think it will be. If you remember, the trigger for this massive decline in financial markets was when the US Federal Reserve declared that we have inflation and that we must fight it. And in this sense, the reference interest rate for the US dollar will initially be raised by 0.25%. Well, time has passed, and the interest rate has been raised by 0.25%. And since you can't fight inflation of a few percent with such a small rise, there's been another rise of 0.5%, and then recently another of 0.75%, and most likely another one of 1% will follow very soon. Because the gap between inflation and interest rates is widening, it is clear that interest rates need to be much more aggressive. As long as interest rates continue to rise, the market trend will be downward. If a few months ago we were lying that inflation is transitory and that we have no cause for concern, now the recession is being discussed in the same terms. We are told that we do not have to worry, that we will not have a recession. Only we have a recession. It is being created. As you know, a recession means that the country's GDP will fall for 2 consecutive quarters. And if it decreases for 4 consecutive quarters, then we will have an economic depression. The GDPs of the big economies are clearly declining now. We are waiting on 2 consecutive quarters of decline in order to confirm the recession. Until the recession is confirmed, the Federal Reserve can continue to do quantitative tightening, withdrawing money from the market and raising interest rates to raise unemployment, and thus succeed in calming inflation. Because no matter how cynical it sounds, you can't stop inflation without creating as much unemployment as possible. Who can no longer pay the installments, lose their homes, and be willing to work on any salary, so that wages fall and implicitly prices? Because now unemployment is at minimum isotropic levels, respectively about 3%, we have entered an inflationary spiral from which we cannot get out. All goods have become more expensive, so workers are demanding a raise to maintain their lifestyle. Employers do not want to lose their employees, so they offer them this salary increase. But as a consequence, they must also increase the price of the goods or services they sell. Thus, things become even more expensive, and the workers will again ask for a salary increase. You can stop this phenomenon only by increasing unemployment to 6 or 7%. And quantitative tightening is taking place in America to accentuate the effects of unemployment by creating a lack of liquidity. The problem is that once the recession is confirmed, the Federal Reserve can no longer do quantitative tightening or raise interest rates. Once the recession is confirmed, the economy must be stimulated, respectively, interest rates must be lowered, and a quantitative easing program must be started, i.e., money must be reintroduced into the economy. What will happen then? You guessed it, the markets will start to recover more slowly or faster, depending on how hard these interest rates cuts will be and how big the amounts of money issued in circulation will be. Everything is quite logical and predictable. Real estate is starting to become unprofitable if you apply for a loan now, because the interest rates are high. That's why I recommend you invest in a real estate as I invest every month, through the crowdfunding applications in which you are the financier. And not only do you not pay interest, but you start collecting rents from next month. You can watch the videos of these two platforms by clicking right now on the screen if you are interested in investing through InRento and properties located in Lithuania. These are hotels, houses, office buildings, or commercial spaces, and they can be used for tourism. You can use them for free. If you are interested in investing in Dubai, you can call on our Smart Crowd partners right now by clicking on the link on the screen. In both cases, you can easily earn some money, which you can invest, just by inviting some friends to these platforms. I hope you use all the information we offer you here. In the next bull run, we can all enjoy the huge portfolios we managed to believe in. Thank you for listening to me until the end, and don't forget to press the like button if you enjoy what you heard here, and send this video to a friend who needs to know this information. Until next time, take care of your money.